always like to ask just in case. Yeah. I don't generally film. I generally when I record the meetings, I just kind of film like the signs and stuff, and not as much of the people's faces. So.
Yeah, I like it like that. How you do it. I don't want to be there.
Yeah,
He's got a freckle on the side of the seat.
Normally how we kind of start off is we'll generate an agenda. So if you have anything you'd like to put on the agenda, just raise your hand and we'll recognize you and get started. I have a couple of items, but I don't need to go first if anybody wants to go ahead. I'd like to talk about our incident with the meth person, with the lady with the screaming meth head and that. I'd like to discuss that. Yeah. That's that parole officer's card that I gave you. That's what generated that. But I'd like to put just a little discussion of that on the agenda. And Pat asked me to discuss a little bit about the rally, the march on the police brutality stuff. She had something she wanted me to put forward, so I'd like to add those two items.
Well, this thing probably is too busy, right?
Oh, sorry. About the march about police brutality on October 22nd. Pat has some misgivings about that, and she wanted me to express those. We're kind of putting an agenda together. If anyone has something they'd like to suggest, or that they...
I have one suggestion. We had a little windstorm. One of our banners went down. The lady that paints the banners, and I discussed it. I think you were talking to her as well. That we probably need to put the banner back up, and she has some supplies. She needs to know where that is. To schedule, work it out with the other people that know where the banners are.
How's it going?
I stopped
early. Right. Yeah.
Some more.
Dressed differently.
We had a little bit of wind kicked up today. We nearly lost most of the paperwork on the information table. Alright. And so we need heavier objects than apples to hold the papers down. One of our workers found that he's using that chalkboard to kind of block it a little bit, but it was still kind of blowing stuff around. I just worry that all the paper will go to the road, and of course,
and just make what it say rocks and rocks and banners. And that's all you have to say.
That's it. That's all.
Okay.
I mean, is this like an agenda item, or it's just boom right now?
Rocks and banners.
Rocks, banners. I don't know what it means.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and solve that right now.
We talk a lot about
Sorry, I was a little...
No, I mean, I usually people do interject, and I'm glad somebody was objective enough to do that. All right.
We have hands that are starting. I agree. This means speed it up. This means I don't like it. This means unlock it.
Any other agenda items from anyone? Did you have anything you wanted to add to today's agenda?
No.
Okay. Anyone?
Oh, yes.
Sorry?
Large tents. My tent zipper broke, and I don't know what's going to last throughout the whole rainy season.
So I did bring another white tarp down for you guys.
And somebody said they'll work on putting a tarp over it.
And you think you guys are going to need another tent? I will work on seeing if I can borrow one for you guys. I've got a little two-man, but
it's the zipper was out of the bricks when we got this one. And the storage was bricks.
If anyone else has access to camping gear, that's kind of always on the needs list, I think. Oh, you're disagreeing? Okay. Any other We'll go back after we discuss the few items that are on there and give people another opportunity. So if you're not done formulating your thoughts, we can come back and see if there's any other new items. The two items that I added, we had some problems today. I guess it's Matt and I were here, and one of the local meth addicts, I guess, went a little nutsoid on us. She was screaming and accosting passersby, and we went into the talked to the security folks in the jail, and they do not handle out here, so they're not the folks that will assist you if you need help. We did contact Eureka PD, and her parole officer showed up, and I have his card there. If you just clip that card in the minutes there, and then we were able to convince her that it was in her interest to leave because she was on parole, and so we managed to get the problem solved.
Are you referring to the lady that was wearing the headphones and she was like one day a few days ago she was out here dancing and like dancing and throwing up?
Yeah, high-fiving me and
I'm not. I had not seen her before.
Matt was
her name was Sheena.
Okay, yeah, it was spotted out.
Okay.
Well, I'm glad she left.
So we did.
I'm glad we got to diffuse the problem instead of having the police directed. You know, I'm all about diffusing the problem instead of.
Yeah, we tried for about 30 minutes to convince her to leave, and she just kept escalating, and until we informed her that the police were coming, that was the only way we could get her to scale back. So
we had run into a problem the other night too with someone, and but yet we were able to de-escalate the problem, and the problem was taken care of.
And the other agenda item that I put forward was, I guess there's some literature about a march concerning police brutality, and Pat asked me to bring up that she was not supportive of that issue. She thinks that the police here in Eureka have not been a problem, and so she wasn't in support of that action. And I told her I would share that with you folks for whatever it was worth. And I don't have an opinion at this point, so if anyone does.
Oh yeah, I'll speak to you. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Sarah. You had your hand up first.
Thank you for letting me interrupt your stack. So I am in support of it. I realize the police have been very good to us here, and they've been mellowing out, and that's also because the city just lost a $4.5 million lawsuit from the whole the Martin Cotton thing. And then my old neighbor, Robert Garth, was shot to death by police on the off-ramp of Blue Lake. And that has not been resolved yet either, because he did not have a deadly weapon. He just had a mental illness, and there was other ways to kind of detain him, and instead they decided to shoot him to death. And so just in solidarity with the Garth family, I will be participating in that. And it will be a non-violent event, of course, but so is it all right for people to disagree? That's all right, and you support what you can, and you don't if you don't agree, and but I will be supporting that movie.
I support the march for police brutality. I have personally been a victim of police brutality. I'm in the middle of a federal lawsuit right now against the Eureka Police and the Arcata Police in a police brutality case. Not in a police brutality case, excuse me. To change 3 ordinances. But it's because of police brutality that I decided to take them to court and
Did anyone else want to speak on this?
Well, yeah, hold on, I'm finished. So anyways, I want to make that clear since I've been taped. I stand with Marty Cotton's dad, gentle giant of a man, and say that he has to live every single day with the reality of police brutality. I was down in Oakland for the trial of the police who admit they pulverized this poor boy to death and threw him in a cell, and he wallowed around in there and died. They're going to have to pay $75,000. They have to pay. I feel that we as the Occupy Eureka should ask for their badges. They're a bunch of murderers. We don't need a fucking police state. We can handle it ourselves. That's why I talked about diffusing the problem. We can handle the meth heads. I wander these streets at all hours of the night. I've seen people, I won't say any names, act fucking 10 times worse than any fucking meth head camping in this fucking camp at 4 o'clock in the morning. We don't need no fucking cops. It's another imperialistic part of the system bullshit that we've been indoctrinated that we fucking need in our lives. They were originally started back during the slaves to catch the niggers when they ran off because they couldn't stand being enslaved any longer. So they had to hire people to go out and catch them.
Hans, I know.
Brotherhood.
Who was? I'm lost track of who's name.
We're talking about the march.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm just
I thought you raised
March against police brutality.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
So he's recording the march, but he doesn't know what exactly. I guess he was supposed to know what time and hour, place.
The march is the 22nd of October, I think.
22nd and 23rd, but I'm not sure what the information is.
I don't know what the hours are either. Talvia, did you have something you wanted to say?
I did. I think to avoid emotional outbursts, and I understand it's a very valid one, though perhaps there can be a time, especially a blog, if somebody wants something specifically important to go on a blog, maybe there can be, like in the future, we can think about having a specific forum for that. Maybe like a sort of support group sort of thing for people who have experienced similar and feel the same way, because this is kind of, it's unfortunate that we can't let everyone express themselves about every little thing, though this is kind of a to-do list that we create and then get done beyond. Yeah.
Did anyone else want to? I have something up,
Somebody go back there and like some cigarettes.
Jack.
Yeah,
Some things are...
We don't put butts on the ground.
It's just ash.
Oh.
Some things are just going to be out of order. There's no way to deal with it except to really be understanding. I'm not trying to say anything that everybody doesn't know, but we'll go back into that. Nonviolent training tomorrow at 2 o'clock here.
I think that's
how that starts and where that goes.
I think it's very important that we get into that as soon as possible.
And a
Based on today, I think that's
becoming under a lot of stress.
any other new business?
New business?
Any other new business? Did you have something?
Agenda items?
Yeah, we finished what we started with, so if we have anything else.
Okay, so the letter that's still going out, I'll talk about that a little bit, and a call list that we're working on. I'll just keep this so you don't have to record. Oh,
yeah, he's taking notes. Yeah, we tried to split it up a little bit so we could be more efficient.
That's a reward? Okay, fine. And the dishes, water, maintenance here, the stuff that we've been doing and what we need more of.
What are you doing?
Having a meeting.
What's on you?
So do we want to...
We've been a little more. We've been asked, you don't have to write this part, I'll just, so I say go. We've been asked to reach out to try to include more people who could get going on marches and things like that in our last meeting. So we've been doing that, okay? So we're working on that. Next March, next demonstration. drugs on site. How we maintain drugs.
You don't. You get rid of them.
Well, yes. And the toilet, we have to talk about the toilet that's being worked on today. I'll find out about that. And the police state, which he covered pretty well. Yeah. Thank you for putting up with me there.
I also wanted to mention that I printed out some stuff from some other Occupy movements, and the Jonesboro Occupy has a list of grievances out there. They want to get a general delegation of like 2 representatives from each Occupy in each congressional district and hold an actual General Assembly.
Yeah.
One of those big
And then present a great list of grievances to the Congress and actually have the revolutionary type of thing going on.
I think for that we should take that to the council between the county because they're all part of this district too, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. So that for the that would be taken to the Monday meeting.
Yeah, perhaps you could put that on your list of things to bring up at your liaison meeting.
Yeah.
But it's so good we know.
Yeah.
Everyone should know.
And there's a copy over there if you get a chance to read it. It's only like 9 pages and it's double spaced.
Okay, so
Yeah,
do we want to go back and discuss Jack's items then? Or was that just sort of an overview? Was there
Well, that was a
was there any
quick
discussion
overview.
that we needed?
We kind of have
Go
like
into it
5
until we were
minutes.
ready to get each agenda item.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. So, because like I say, we finished everything else. So if we want to just kind of go back to your agenda and we'll just start the discussion.
I'll recognize you in a stack.
4 minutes.
You have a question? Yeah. Can she ask a question?
Sure.
Yeah, go for it.
The Monday meeting, has that been determined where it was? I know there was talk about either
HSC
being
Park.
here. Yeah, here or the Quad. I know there was talk.
Okay.
Maybe having it here.
Next time it'll be here after this one at HSC.
Okay. Does anyone need a ride there? 'Cause if you give me a phone number, I can give a ride. I live right
Cool.
around the corner.
What time? I mean, you know?
It's at 4 p.m. So do you want to just like have a group here leave at 3?
Yeah, I can fit 3 other people in my car.
Is it 4 on Monday?
4 other people.
It's just cheaper.
That would give us 638 delegates or something like that.
I should also mention that in most meetings, especially in person, other meetings, much like this, we always have a jikasitsu. Jikasitsu is somebody who is a vibes monitor, and it just allows that everybody's having a pretty good time, and when something comes up, we tackle them or we do something like that. Just like we don't have to really get too serious about this. We don't have to drive him into a corner and make it more than it was. So we can have a little fun.
I think we've got one right here.
Yes, this